FHS Season Tickets.
Back to another episode of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Nick.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Christian.
And this week we got some winter sports coming up, finally getting into that season, that basketball season. And the boys basketball, we're playing Thursday against Lake Ridge Academy. It's only varsity this time though because they don't have a JV or freshman team. Mike, what's girls basketball doing?
Yeah, they lost their first game of the year to Parma over the weekend, and now let's start it off. College football, first thing, we have to start off Ohio State, Michigan. What are your guys' thoughts of the game? Christian, I'll go to you first.
That was a great game. People were thinking about that controversial call about the forward progression on JT Barrett. I think it was a good call because he had it over before he got bumped back. But it was a super exciting game. Ohio State was down the first half, and they completely came back. They were playing like complete garbage. It was a great game.
Yeah, it was definitely the game. Awesome game. A few points on that call. I mean, it's kind of straightforward. They called it on the field, and then there was no irreversible evidence. I didn't really think it was too controversial. I just think it was because of the height of the game that happened. But thoughts on the game, the Buckeyes definitely couldn't do anything in the air. JT Barrett had to use his legs most often, which I think really saved the game, or else that would have been a really one-dimensional offense, almost doing nothing. But their defense,
the game was like 30 carries almost.
Yeah. But their defense really stepped it up. Will and Spade, I thought, other than that one bad interception from Malik Hooker, I think that Michigan almost outplayed Ohio State, it seemed like, but the Ohio State's defense really carried them. But their offense really needs to step it up, especially coming up if they make it into the playoffs. If they go up against Alabama, that kind of thing won't work with him. Barrett needs to get back to his actual freshman year, and he needs to get thrown in the air for sure. Mike, what do you think about it?
Yeah, Ohio State was really getting dominated first three quarters, but in the fourth quarter, Ohio State had 128 total yards to Michigan's 5. You mentioned Ohio State's defense stepped up, only allowing 5 yards in a whole quarter. That's fantastic from the Buckeyes defense. And that final play not the final play, but one of the final plays, JT Barrett, I do think he barely got across the line. It was very close. I agree with you, Nick. I don't think there's any way you can reverse that call on the replay. It's just so close.
Yeah.
I think you have to respect the call on the field and give them the first down. Some of the pass interference calls, maybe I disagree with just a little bit, but I think that JT Barrett, you got to respect the first down call that was made on the field and can't overturn that one. But
Ohio State's got some ballers on defense, like Malik Hooker. He's a dog. He's so good. Yeah, Raekwon McMillan's like a mainstay, but yeah. Nick Bosa, showing his freshman year, he has a physical body. You just gotta progress a little bit more. But what were you saying?
Yeah, I just think Ohio State's been getting off to a lot of really slow starts. Their offense hasn't been doing well.
Their offense is always like a hit or miss.
Yeah, in 8 quarters of regulation against the two Michigan schools, only 34 points of total offense. That's not going to get it done. Probably in the college football playoff unless you play a team like Wisconsin if they make it. Somehow, I really can't see only 17 points beating either Clemson or Washington. But those teams do have worse defenses.
And think about it. You're going to be playing
Michigan.
Alabama. That 17 points won't be 17 points if you're playing like that. That's going to be 3. It won't be
Michigan's D-line was getting pressure. It's like any pressure wanted on
Prince.
I was about to say Braxton Miller, JT Barrett.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't really pass that much. But do you think about it? Alabama, their D-line is going to be all over JT Barrett. If they
Isaiah
play.
Prince
I don't
is
think
going to
Ohio State will ever have a chance.
demolished if they play like that. Mike Weber can't generate anything.
That one, their right tackle or left tackle, whoever it is.
Right tackle.
Yeah, he couldn't block anything.
I know.
Couldn't block anything.
He's a big body.
He's a horse.
Yeah.
He couldn't even block the second string defensive pass rush.
Taco's back up?
Yeah.
Taco was what the heck?
Taco
was
was
doing?
balling out, man.
he was going insane.
He had a great name and played a better game.
He was bodying. Was the Iron Bowl anything interesting? I was flipping through it. I thought it was close in the beginning, and then Alabama just destroyed them. Yeah,
like you
kind
saw
of unfortunate.
It was close
The
for the
SEC
score.
But
you saw it was close for the score when
no,
you
in
checked
the beginning.
Yeah, it wasn't like 9-6
3-0.
or 10-9.
Auburn was winning 3-0.
Oh yeah, but after the first quarter,
and it was 9-3.
The total yards was like 165 to like 9. and the score was like
Wow.
10-9 because Auburn's kicker, straight up baller. He had
Really?
like 2 50-yarders.
Yo,
he was
can
a
we
dog.
talk about Ohio State's kicker? What are you doing? 20-yard field goal.
You know
What
what's
are you
actually
I
crazy
could,
about
I
that?
could kick that.
All right, I
I
was saying that I could kick that
Yeah.
too. Like,
You know what's the craziest thing about that?
What?
Entering that game, he was 16 for 16 on field goals. Only kicker in the country with more than 2 field goal attempts that was 100% on field goals.
I know. And
Then in the moment, in the big game,
he just
0 for 2 to start. Luckily, he redeemed himself.
All right, can we get to my favorite sport right now?
Yeah,
It's trending
Vanderbilt
up.
football.
Oh yeah, good win
But
against
for
the
real,
Vols. Yeah,
big
can we
time
get-
win against the Vols. Kyle Shermer, over 400 passing yards.
I know,
He's never thrown for 300 before that game. I was getting worried for a second. I wasn't
Who
sure if
is
I was
this?
watching Vanderbilt football.
Yeah, change
Like, we were
shit.
throwing the ball all over the field. I was like, are they disguised or something?
The Vols.
The Vols.
Yeah, but now let's get into the NFL. Actually, has been pretty solid these past. And now we're getting into the NFL, which has actually been really solid for me. It was bad the first couple, or the many first weeks, like probably the first 9 weeks. But now it's getting into the swing of things for me. Just the Thanksgiving Sunday, I didn't really watch, but Thanksgiving was an awesome day for football. Other than the beginning game, Minnesota-Detroit, I didn't feel like it was really that fun to watch. Just a defensive slugfest. I know it was close, but Detroit.
You're going to be watching
not-
Detroit in the playoffs.
Yeah, Detroit just.
Just letting you know.
It's exactly. So, but then you get into Dallas, and then
That was a
yeah,
heck of a football game.
that was crazy.
Dallas versus Washington.
Dallas versus Washington.
The NFC East.
So good.
Let's talk about that right now. The NFC East is loaded. They used to be called the NFC least like 2
Right.
years ago. That is
I remember
the best
2 years ago when they were being made fun of, like, this conference sucks, but now it's
now
like,
it's the best division in football with the AFC West a close second, I think.
yeah. But the Cowboys just showing week after week what they got. Ezekiel Elliott doing those big. The thing with him is he doesn't bust out too many big runs. Like, he has them, but like it's those 10-yard runs like on first downs that really get teams
8,
like really just degenerate
11,
them. Like
9, 5.
yeah, he always busts out on first down. He'll get another first down. Defenses start putting their hands on their hips, really start getting just demoralized. And then Dak Prescott, he has those timely throws, never makes a bad mistake. And he just a great game manager, which is good for his rookie year. Obviously, he's doing really good things, and it's really hard to see a big flaw in this Dallas Cowboys defense on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, it's a different story. I mean, they're doing a bend not break defense, but I really don't like that against teams like the Patriots or maybe even the Seahawks because they don't have that creative pass rush that they generate. But as of right now, Dallas Cowboys dominating the regular season. These rookies are really showing what they got, really surprising a bunch of people, and just having a ton of fun doing it. Mike, what do you think about Thanksgiving Day and the NFL as a whole?
Oh, Dallas-Washington was a great game. I think people really need to start taking Dallas seriously. Like, I know they're taking Dallas seriously. Winning 10 straight games in the NFL and being 10-1, that's really difficult
With a rookie
to do.
quarterback and running back?
Yeah,
That's
like this
unheard of.
team is legit. If you don't have them in the top 2 teams in the NFL, I just think there's not much of an argument anymore.
Yeah.
Like the only other team you could really say is better than Dallas, I think, is New England.
Yeah.
And Dallas is a legit team. They look really complete. Only real team that I would put over them is New England, just because Tom Brady's so good in the red zone. Another guy who's really good in the red zone is Marcus Mariota. He's had a fantastic year. But Tennessee doesn't match up with Dallas anywhere else on the field. So you mentioned the bend but don't break. Maybe Mariota could put up a lot of points, but Dallas would be putting them back up. Christian, what were your thoughts about the NFL over the break?
It was great. It was great. Bunch of games, especially Dallas Redskins. See Josh Norman and Dez Bryant.
That was awesome. That was so cool.
That was pretty good. Because I hate Josh Norman and Dez completely
bodied him.
Yeah, he was losing.
Washington need to get their money back.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And then Kirk Cousins was lighting it up. He's probably he's easily like top
10
5.
QB.
I say he's top 5 right now. He'll have games where he'll just be like, I'm fire, and then he'll have games where he's like, eh.
Yeah, that's true.
But when he's on fire, dude, he's
underappreciated.
Yeah.
Like there were
Well, I
people
mean,
saying
he's given
just
a
like
small sample size. That's
just
why.
like 2 weeks ago, there were people saying that he wasn't even like an average quarterback.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we gotta mention it. We've got to mention the Browns. Just 2 more L's, not even covering the spread in either of the games
I know.
over break.
It was
What are you
nuts.
fellas doing?
I don't know. I mean, 0-12 speaks for itself. Browns are just not good this year. Hugh Jackson, I think, was going to wear at him mentally. I don't know if this is the type of culture you want to set up for. I know he doesn't have any talent, but I think this was just really bad. I feel like we should have maybe, if we could have gotten Hugh Jackson next year when we developed more talent, so we could have just maybe gotten a coach to suffer this, fire him. I don't even know anymore. It's very bad for the Browns right now.
Yeah, I think it's very bad for him, especially for like Ray Horton, because that's like,
Yeah.
if anyone's gonna get fired, that's gonna be the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Just fire Ray Horton. Oh, it's all his fault as to
Yeah.
why the Browns are winless. I think it was extremely funny after on Twitter, Janoris Jenkins tweeting out
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, he got like 130 some yards on him with like no
but
quarterback.
But he got his own coverage.
Oh, so it doesn't even count?
Right,
like,
right.
did Breyer even get 130 yards and a touchdown?
But then I seen Janoris Jenkins get like crossed up by
Right.
Corey Coleman.
He just literally almost stumbled. Like, almost just found his butt.
Was that zone coverage? So can you
No,
even count that either?
Oh, it might have been.
I think we have to mention the Sunday night game as well. Denver versus Kansas City. Those were 2 fantastic
Great
teams.
Oh yeah, really good.
What were you guys' thoughts about Denver not running the clock out? They could have, the player could have gone down instead of scoring a touchdown. I mean, I guess hindsight's always 20/20, but do you think that's something that's not taught enough?
Maybe it's Monday night quarterbacking, but I mean, yeah, those plays will happen, but I think maybe it's not taught enough, but you don't have like unlimited amount of time, and maybe it was just in the moment, just forgot to do it, you know?
Yeah, completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Draymond Green and Adam Schefter got into it on Twitter. Adam Schefter said they should have went out of bounds. Draymond Green's like, "You're not an athlete, bro. You don't know what it's like."
What?
Adam Schefter was like, "They could have won the game," and he showed a video of Brian Westbrook going down when he could have easily scored a touchdown to win. When they were up 1. Because if you score a touchdown, kick the extra point, you're down 8, so they get the ball back.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look at a player sacrificing himself for the benefit of the team," and Draymond was just like, "Oh,
You don't
you're
know what
still
it's
not
like."
an athlete, bro."
Hey, you said
Us athletes are always going to score when we have the chance. I'm just like...
Such an idiot.
Yet Draymond's the guy who says when he scored 2 points was his best game of the year, but then says that athletes are always going to want to score.
Hey, Tom Herman being hired as Texas.
I was actually just about to mention
Great
that.
pickup for them. That's awesome. I don't know, maybe Texas cursed though, because they have all the talent in the world in their own state, and they can't even get any of them. Well, like maybe there's
think
better
about
recruiting.
this. Texas has like so much talent in state, but you could go to Texas. You could go to Texas A&M.
But Texas
TCU.
is
You could
Texas
go to Baylor.
used to
you
be
could
their
go to
like
Houston.
Ohio State. Like Texas used to be their Ohio State. That's like going to Miami of Ohio over Ohio State.
Miami's of Ohio's in the
To go to
MAC. All the
Houston.
other schools are in the same
Houston?
conference. Well, Houston, no. But
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
that's only
You
because of
mentioned
Tom
Houston.
Herman.
And then, I think we can wrap it up here.
Ed Ogeron getting hired at LSU.
I called that.
Good-
Did I not
good
call
move,
that?
bad move?
Remember I called that? Yeah, I think it's a good move. Who else are you gonna get? He propelled your team better, and he's the players' coach.
He
Let's see
got
what happens.
got one of the most talented teams in the country. 2 more losses after taking over. One at home to Florida. Impressive. Wow.
Florida's the second best team in the SEC. I mean, that's what the SEC has him at. I don't know. This guy's a big SEC proponent. Why are they in your conference championship?
Auburn's the second best team in the SEC.
And they just got
Kent
trashed
State,
by Alabama?
Kent State's one of the 2 best teams in the Big Ten.
No. But
Then why are they in the conference?
they
title
have
game?
how many losses do they have? 2.
Yeah,
How many is Florida gonna have?
3.
How many are they gonna have?
How many are they gonna have?
How many are they gonna have? 4. They're going to have 4
Yeah, that's
losses.
assuming they're gonna lose to Alabama.
I know. I'm 100% certain they're losing to Alabama.
Hey,
I'm
I told
calling
you
that.
guys. You guys picked
You guys
Florida
can-
over Florida State, and I said Florida would score like 10 points, and they got 13.
We picked Florida.
You guys both picked
I
Florida.
picked Florida.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I don't know what you guys were tripping, man.
I mean, maybe I just saw that
I
SEC
don't know. Every time I
label.
pick Florida State, they just never came through for me.
I don't even think Dalvin Cook had a big game against Florida.
He had a touchdown to break some records. Other than that,
Yeah. All right, I
That's
think
why.
that can wrap it up for us today. The NFL's back in swing. College football nearing its twilight, and it's gonna be exciting playoffs. Adios.
anchor down.